Hi everyone, welcome back to Unorthodox Cricket. Now, a massive night in the cricketing world last night. 3 huge test matches. Firstly, New Zealand versus Sri Lanka, then the Ashes, and that was followed by India and the West Indies. Now, all 3 of these games are in pretty good positions at the moment. Some really good bowling at the top, and also some really fighting batting. So, it's going to be interesting moving into tonight. Firstly, New Zealand versus Sri Lanka. They didn't get through a hell of a lot of cricket. There was rain on and off. The toss was delayed yet again, and they were on and off throughout the day. At the end of the day's play, Sri Lanka are 2 for 85. Now, New Zealand bowlers at the top, Trent Boult and Tim Southee, they bowled alright, they bowled tight. I wouldn't say they bowled threatening. It was very overcast and they just really couldn't deliver any penetration whatsoever. And then the Somerville, the off-spinner, came on. He picked up a cheap wicket there, but outside of that, it was pretty poor bowling. The spinners were too loose. The seamers probably didn't attack as much as they should. They were economical. Somerville just dropped too many short, and Kursal Mendes got on the pull shot way too easily. Yet again, Karuna Ratner leading from the front, 49 not out, really leading the way for Sri Lanka there. So yeah, at the end of the day's play, 2 for 85, Sri Lanka probably in control. New Zealand need to push for a win just to tie the series, so you'd have to say Sri Lanka are probably in control. 2 for 85, 4 days left. They don't need to win the series, however with the new Test Championship there is incentive there to push for the win. However, on the other hand, New Zealand are chasing to tie the series, so they're really going to have to make the play here. So keys for New Zealand, day 2, pick up early wickets and score some quick runs basically. Sri Lanka can probably just continue to do what they're doing. They're in no rush whatsoever. Moving on to the Ashes. Now, I was really excited when I saw England going to bowl first. Just really pumped to see Jofra Archer with the ball, and he didn't fail to disappoint. Both Broad and Archer really dominated with the new ball early on, just unplayable. They were both all over Warner and Harris, and I was really surprised Dave Warner managed to get through because yet again, Broad was all over him. It looked like he was going to pick him up yet again, but really impressive from Warner. He managed to fight through, get through that tough stage, and put on a well-made 61, which was absolutely massive for the Australians. Jofra Archer at the other end got rid of Harris, then they went off for rain, came back, he just continued to put it on the spot, and then the pressure sort of came off a bit when Woakes and Stokes came into bowl. They were just a bit loose. Stokes particularly bowled a few full tosses which got punished, and Woakes was just a bit all over the show. So outside of Broad and Archer, Stokes and Woakes were very disappointing, and there were a couple of hiccups in the field, a couple of 5 overthrows, which really let the Australians get away a little bit. But once Marnus Labanishki, whatever the fuck his name is, once they got rid of him for 74, that was the end of the innings. But he fought really well. Obviously trying to fill Steve Smith's boots is a massive task, but he's done it on 2 occasions now, so he's obviously had a massive season in England, come back to the Test arena and putting on performances that he'd like. Obviously when he first came into the Test scene, he didn't look like a Test match player, but as he's shown in his last 2 innings, there's a little bit of potential there, and he can also roll out the leagueies, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes there. But Jofra Archer, what a performance, 6 for 45, just runs in, bowls quick, gets that movement away from the right-handed batsman, and just causes all sorts of problems. I would be highly surprised if he wasn't one of England's most successful Test match bowlers by the end of his career, and it's really exciting to see him there. Imagine the attack if they had Jimmy Anderson, Jofra Archer and Stuart Broad all fit, and then you've got still Woakes and Stokes. That would be up there with one of the best bowling attacks in the world. So it's really exciting to see where the English are going there. So at the end of the day, they bowled out Australia for 179, so they're in a very strong position. Day 2, the batsmen need to come out, just bat, try and get a lead of a couple hundred at least. There's no time pressure for them. Having bowled Australia out in the day really allows their batsmen just to go about their business in the way they want and really build a mammoth total. On the positive for England as well, they use the review system really well. It's probably one of the best performances as a Test captain from Root regarding the review system. I think they were successful on all of their reviews, so that was massive. And for the Australians, on the other hand, I don't think any of theirs came right. So massive for the reviews. It's good to see a team finally figured it out, at least for an innings. But yeah, what a game that was. Australia 179 all out. Day 2, England going into bat. The Australian bowlers are going to have to bowl particularly well. And finally, the third game for the night, the West Indies versus India. West Indies started particularly well. Kemar Roach and Shannon Gabriel bowled phenomenally at the top. In particular, Kemar Roach, he was just bowling very similar to Jofra Archer, just nice and full and nibbling away from the right-handers, and he picked up 3 for 34, so it was massive for them to knock off the top. Virat Kohli was a bit loose in his dismissal. He tried to sort of cut one over the galley and got caught there. But besides that, all the Indian batsmen sort of got undone by good balls, so you can forgive them there. Massive innings from Rahane, who ended up on 81. He really just consolidated that middle order and got India into a reasonably solid position. I think early on they were really struggling and it looked like they were going to fall well short of 200. For the West Indies, there was a bit of loose fielding, just laziness around the boundary in particular, just guys trying to stomp on the ball and going for 4. So a lot of work to be done there for the West Indies regarding the fielding, but I'd say they'll be fairly happy to have India 203 for 6 at the end of the day's play. Obviously, they've still got a couple of big wickets to get. Rishabh Pant's still there, so that is absolutely huge moving forward for them. But this really does give the West Indies an opportunity to go out there, bowl India out for under 250, and then come out with the bat and assert some dominance there. So all of these games are in pretty good position. Obviously, Sri Lanka and New Zealand are a bit behind because of the rain, as is the India-West Indies game, and the Ashes was also affected by rain. But the Ashes is definitely in a results position, so is the West Indies-India game, not so much the Sri Lanka-New Zealand game. But all of these games are being affected by rain, and it's just so frustrating as a cricket fan, expecting a start time, waiting for covers to come on and off, going off for rain. It's just so frustrating when you just want to sit down, watch some good cricket, and it's just continually interrupted. And I mean, for 3 games to be affected by rain overnight, it's really unfortunate, but also very disappointing. It brings back the question of, should there be roofs on cricket stadiums? Now, I know it's expensive, but I think it'd be well worth it. There's just too many days in cricket that are rained out, washed out, and it must be expensive for both the grounds and the people running the games, and obviously disappointing for the fans. So I'd really love to see more roof stadiums in world cricket. I know they've tried it a couple of times in Australia and batsmen have hit the roof, but for me that's not a huge issue. It's a very rare occasion that happens, but I'd love to see more cricket under roofs, particularly if you could build a roof that retracts so you can have it open or shut. But it would just mean a lot more cricket's played, a lot less frustration for players, fans, everyone basically. No one wants to see cricket rained out, but for me that could be something going forward. Obviously it's expensive though. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks again for watching. Let me know what you guys think of this current state of play in all these games. I was so impressed by Archer. For me, the performance of the day was Jofra Archer out of all these 3 teams. Just phenomenal. In your second test to pick up 6 for 45 and get rid of some of the best batsmen in the world, just so impressive. But I'm so excited to see where his career goes. Hopefully New Zealand can kick on, take some wickets. I'd love to see West Indies bowl India out for say 250 and then put a score on the board to really challenge them. And then in the Ashes, I'd love to see England get up, absolutely pump the Aussies in this test match and get back in the mix. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you again tomorrow.